This is Las Vegas Real Estate Now, where we bring you the 3 E's: educate, empower, and engage. I'm your host, Harvey Blankfeld, and we've been selling homes here in Southern Nevada since 1988. Now, with me in studio, we have Mark Stark from Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices. Right now, in our market, I think buyers are finding it somewhat challenging sometimes to be able to get the home they want. Sometimes they're having to compete. Sometimes the prices are moving. How does a buyer find the right home in this market? How do they work to get the right home?
All right. Well, a couple things that I would recommend. First, in a market like we are now, it's imperative to have clarity on what you're looking for. It's not a market where you have the freedom just to be very generalized and we'll see because, as you're stating, sometimes if you happen to run into the house that you like, you got to move on it.
Yeah.
So you start off by having clarity. On what you're looking for. The second piece of it is, who you work with as a sales executive is so important because there's many sales executives that I really feel take a blind eye to the market. What I mean by that is they look at the MLS as the only place for inventory. Mm-hmm. And, the last time I looked out the window, inventory doesn't go away. Right. So when you hear someone talk about low inventory, what they're really saying is that's the only place I look at inventory and those numbers can go down.
Right.
Well, there's a lot of inventory out there, and that's where sales executives really step up to the plate if they have clarity on what you're looking for, and then can go out to all aspects of inventory and say, you know what, I've got to get out there and meet sellers and product that fits my buyer's needs.
There's also investors in our market now, and I'm seeing that. It's interesting to me that investors are still interested in acquiring property here, even as prices have come up, but they are because there's still value.
Well, not only is there value, and separate from what their motives are, if you're a seller in the market and there's people spending millions and millions of dollars to reach directly to sellers and seeing if they're looking to sell, the one recommendation I have is when you receive something like that, and let's say you have some real interest to say, maybe it's just easier for me to do that, mm-hmm. and I'd prefer not people walking through my house. Before you accept that, make sure, one, internalize that you're making the decision there to sell it for under market value, and that can be fine. It's really up to you personally.
Right.
At investor prices, and before you do that, they have such a high acquisition cost. You know what? Call your realtor, ask them and say, hey, listen, I don't want anyone walking through. I'm willing to give this a great price on this property. I have an offer.
Right.
Can you beat it?
Right.
Okay. And there's different things that we can do that they don't offer.
Right.
And most of the time, the sellers are getting a higher price as well. And what's really important to sellers is, one, minimizing a double move.
Yes.
So they're looking for leasebacks.
Yeah.
Because they've bought the other property. Maybe the timing of the closing of the other property is not so exact. There's investors that will deal with that where a lot of these companies won't deal with that.
Indeed.
The second point is really important, and that's repairs.
Yeah.
There's investors that will lock that in for the consumer and say, listen, here's what the cost will be, and it won't adjust in escrow, where a lot of these companies, they leave that as kind of a maybe, and you never know. That can be thousands of dollars difference.
Right.
You've been listening to Las Vegas Real Estate Now with host Harvey Blankfeld. Please tune in every Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on News Talk 720 KDWN.